ruse. It's the politics of envy. If you're struggling, you should envy your neighbour instead of being angry with the powerful, that if you're a low-paid worker, your wages being cut by your boss in real terms, your in-work benefits being slashed by the government, that instead of being angry with your boss, instead of being angry with the government, you should envy the unemployed person who's living it up in luxury down the road. If you're in the private sector, pensions decimated by bosses, one of the great scandals of our time, you shouldn't be angry with your boss. You should envy the nurse or the teacher or the other public sector worker whose pension is still intact. And if you're someone who can't get an affordable home because council housing has been so attacked by successive governments, or you can't get a secure job because they've been stripped from our economy by economic vandalism over the last generation or so, you shouldn't be angry with the powerful. You should envy the immigrant getting the job or the home that should rightfully be yours instead. And that's what we've got to fight against. We've got to give people hope. The likes of UKIP, this anti-establishment party led by that rare breed of politician, a white, privately educated man who worked in the city as a broker, whose anti-establishment party is bankrolled by Tory millionaires, whose policies are so unique and stand out from the political establishment because they call for these unique policies like privatisation and slashing taxes on the rich and attacking workers' rights. We've got to remind people, we've got to say to them this: who caused this crisis? Who plunged this country into economic disaster? Was it the Polish fruit picker? Was it the Lithuanian nurse? Was it the Indian cleaner? Or was it the bankers who plunged us into economic disaster? Is it the tax dodgers who hoard £25 billion a year while you have to pay every penny? Was it the poverty-paying bosses who leave most people in poverty languishing, most people in poverty in work, earning their poverty day after day? So we've got to give people hope. And that means drawing on our traditions, drawing on the traditions of people who fought back at great cost. And that means fighting for a living wage for all in work, fighting for councils to build housing, having the renewable energy jobs of the future instead of zero-hour contracts and unpaid or low-paid work or the cycle of unemployment, tax justice, forcing the people at the top to pay the money they should be paying instead of mass tax avoidance and low taxes on those people. Utilities not run by profiteers but run by the people of this country democratically, like railways and energy. Proper workers' rights, so working people can stand up for themselves. These are the things we should be fighting for. And just finally, have hope, have courage and determination. The likes of Occupy forced onto the agenda this central defining issue of our time. This is the central defining issue of our time. Who caused this crisis? Who's been made to pay for it? Who is booming whilst others are struggling? In the last 5 years, the wealth of the top 1,000 people has doubled, whilst up to 1 million people depend on food banks in the sixth richest country on the face of the earth, unable to feed themselves. That's what Occupy put on the agenda, but it's up to all of us to solve it. So let's link together, learn from the traditions of this country, and know that the way we get change isn't by politely asking, but it's by organising together, using our collective strength. If our ancestors could win, we will win as well, and we will build a society running the interests of the people who keep it ticking, not those people at the top.